people come into Master the Media and they say, I'm passionate about yoga, I'm passionate about, meditative activities. And then we actually have you try out writing video. You can say, I love it or hate it. But a lot of people are surprised. And just for everyone here, I want to mention like it doesn't have to be directly related to your niche or your expertise. And that sounds a little crazy. But the thing is that brands want an expert backing their products. Hello, and welcome to the Master the Media podcast. I'm your host, Amy Gorin. And today I have a special treat for you. So, we just launched a whole new revamped version of Master the Media. And I was going to walk you through it today because we have, no matter if you join us or not, we have this really cool concept that we're now teaching called bundling. And this is literally how our students are making $50,000 in brand partnerships from just two or three partnerships. So, think like two or three partnerships of 10, 20, $30,000 each. And the other day, I actually hosted a Q&A with some of our coaches. So Simran Malhotra, she's our physician advisor, and Kaytee Hadley, she is our community manager at Master the Media. And so I'm just gonna let you listen to the Q&A because I think it paints the picture of this process amazingly well. Again, even if you just want to learn about brand partnerships, knowing about the bundling concept is really, really going to help you. And if you are interested in joining Master Media, literally for one more day until tomorrow, we have a special offering for you. When you enroll in Master the Media, you get a one-on-one 50K foundation planning session where one of our coaches is going to actually create 5 customized bundled options for you specifically. So they're going to help you create these so you can go and pitch brands with your special skill sets within your niche and area of specialty. And then we're also offering a pay in full bonus where if you enroll and you pay in full, you get an extra month. So 7 months, not 6 months, and Master the Media. So here you go. Thank you everyone for joining us. I appreciate you sharing with us. So welcome to the Master the Media Q&A. This is really just meant to answer all your questions about Master the Media, about working with brands. And I am here. I'm Amy Gorin. I'm the CEO of Master the Media. I'm here with Dr. Simran Malhotra. She's our physician advisor, and Kaytee Hadley. She's our community manager. Both of them are Master the Media success stories. So I'm going to introduce you to them in a second. Drop into the chat whether you're here to learn how to land your first or your next brand partnership. So I'm going to give super quick intro, and then we're going to answer some questions that we have from last night that we didn't get a chance to that I think are really, really helpful, and then we'll open up the floor. So I am Amy Gorin. I'm a plant-based registered dietitian, and this is my second career. So my first career, I was a magazine editor in New York City, and it was a very cool career. I actually was telling one of our coaches today, she sent me like something about Bethany Frankel, and I was like, oh my gosh, back in the day, I actually edited Bethany Frankel's column for Health Magazine. So there are some really cool moments, but really cool also equaled like literally my first job was $14 an hour with a master's degree. So sad income, sad quality of life, working like 70 hours a week. So I saw the writing on the wall that I couldn't sustain that lifestyle. I went back to school to become a dietitian. And then I became a dietitian and I was like, wait, I didn't think this through. My first job as a dietitian is $40 an hour, which is still sad. Then I started thinking, I know all of these brands. I have all these brand contacts from my editor days. And I just started reaching out to them. And I started working with brands pretty much right away. In my first year as a dietitian, earned over 100,000 from brand partnerships. In my second year, earned well over 200,000. And then people started asking me like, how do you do this? Can I know how to do it? And that's how I started Master the Media. And it's funny because I was thinking back to my early, early days, like when I first started working with brands, and there was this lupini bean company. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's called Brahmi. And I was like, this is when they first came to market and they were in New York City. I think they were like in one of those little WeWork spaces. And I was like, hey, I'm a huge fan. Do you want to talk about working together? And they're like, yeah, come on over. So I like traveled in from New Jersey, spent a whole day going into New York City, met with them. And my whole entire pitch was, I can help you get featured in the media. And they were like, and it's like, I can help you get featured in the media. And so they're like, here's some samples. Like, so I like obviously that was a flat no. I go back to New Jersey with my free beans. And then that's when I kind of like, okay, I figured out it's all about bundling, offering brands multiple deliverables, media plus social media plus testimonials plus blog posts, but really listening to what the brand needs or wants, not like, here's what I can do for you. And so that's the biggest thing that's shifted in the Master the Media approach to brand partnerships. And that's why you've probably seen lots of our students landing really huge amounts of brand partnerships. And that's why they're able to, is because they use this bundling method. So over the last 10 years, I've only been a dietitian for a little over 10 years. I've earned $2 million in brand partnerships just from brand work. And I'm not here to brag about that, but I just really want to show you guys how to do it. So I'm going to have Simran and Kaytee introduce themselves, give you a little overview, a little recap of the bundling method, and then we'll jump into questions. So Simran.
Thanks, Amy. So, my name is Simran. I am a physician. I'm going to try to do this in a nutshell. But I started my career in palliative care and then eventually landed in lifestyle medicine. Worked in palliative care for a big healthcare system for about 10 years and really landed in lifestyle medicine when I found out I have the BRCA1 genetic mutation about 10 years ago. Post-pandemic 2020, I had my risk-reducing surgeries, started sharing my story kind of organically online, and a brand that I absolutely loved reached out about working together. And this was like this was kind of at the height of my burnout and moral injury because it was not just post-pandemic, post surgeries, but also everything was changing within my healthcare system. Everything was being corporatized, and it was the definition of moral injury. So, anyways, I jumped into this contract with this brand who, like sent me this 4-page contract with all these deliverables, and they were willing to pay me $800 a month, which honestly, at that point, I probably would have done it for free because I thought it was so cool. And so I thought $800 a month was great. And then the universe sent me Amy, and I heard her on a podcast. And at that point, I'd already signed the contract, but I knew I had a million questions because they were talking about usage and name and likeness, things I'd never heard about. And so I kind of just jumped out of my comfort zone because I also know that if you stop growing, you end up burning out. And so I had stopped growing in my career. And so I jumped into Master the Media because I wanted to do something new. I wanted to learn and grow. And so this was a space where I knew nothing about. So last year, this is what you see on the screen. Last year, I was able to renegotiate that same partnership that was $2,400 for the whole partnership for a whole page of deliverables to $14,000 for the whole partnership. And that was really just for six, Instagram reels. And that I did with Amy's guidance and everything that I have learned inside of Master the Media. And so this is kind of just opened a window of possibilities for me. I've been part of Master the Media for almost like about over a little over 2 years. The community is amazing. I'm about to launch my own lifestyle medicine and palliative care telehealth micro practice, which I actually call it a micro practice because I really want to only see a small panel of patients because speaking, brand work, media is really where I want to spend the bulk of my time. Because the biggest shift I've seen in my life is that, you know, doing this work not only scales your impact, but also gives you a bigger ROI on your time. So I'm able to step away when I want to, I'm able to scale when I want to. It gives me more flexibility, and I'm in a really, really beautiful season of my life. My kids are 7 and 9, and I really just want to spend as much time with them as possible. And so, yeah, Master the Media has allowed me to tap into creativity and more joy and growth and just doing medicine on my own terms. So I'm going to pass it to Kaytee, and I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Love that so much. And yeah, we'll get to questions really soon. So wow, I mean, look at this, 34,000 in brand partnerships. So Kaytee is our community manager, who has landed $150,000 in brand partnerships. So I'll let you take it from here.
Hi, good to be here. Yeah, so let's see. So I originally joined Master of the Media only a few years ago. What was that, Amy? Like not even 3 years ago. And at that time, I didn't have a social media presence. I didn't have any TV experience. I didn't have any brand partnership experience. So I'm a functional medicine dietitian and I have a private practice. And it was pretty small at the time. And this is like my love and my passion. I really want to grow it into something really big and powerful. And like that takes time. And so honestly, the reason I joined Master the Media was because I really wanted to have some more like financial stability and knowing that the group practice was going to take a while to build. Like I wanted some like big heavy hitters. And the way Amy was talking about working with brands and everything, it seemed like there was also just like good flexibility in terms of like time too, so that I could still see patients, 9 to 5 or whatever, and then do this on the side. And so that's exactly what I did. So I used the sort of bundling method that Amy teaches, and my first several partnerships, which I secured within month 3 or 4 of being in the program, they were all over 10K because I bundled like this. And during those first 6 months, I had probably partnered with about like maybe half a dozen brands or so to make about $50,000 during those first 6 months. So things like testimonials, blogs, advising, consulting, video and photo shoots, social media videos, TV, blog posts, like all these different things. And like, honestly, when I say I knew nothing joining Master the Media, like I knew nothing. So not only, did the program like help me meet the people, land the partnerships, understand what was possible, understand how to bundle, but then also like actually execute on all of these things. Like I remember it was just one time when a brand was like, "Oh, like Kaytee, like can you do a test kitchen?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." And then I like posted in the Facebook group and I was like, "Amy, what's a test kitchen?" Like I know I can do it if like someone tells me what it is. I just like don't know the logistics. So anyway, and kind of going into this, like some of the brands, like they knew they wanted bundles when we first met, others didn't, but I had kind of listened to them. I made recommendations on, how I could help them like get to their goals, whether it was reaching new consumers or building relationships with other healthcare providers. And so I was kind of helping them brainstorm. And there were plenty of brands who didn't even know they wanted a bundle, but then, after talking, they were like, "Oh my gosh, this all sounds amazing." And so kind of fast forward to today, now I have a full-blown group private practice. So I have several dietitians on my team as well as other folks on my team too. And I've really been able to utilize the brand and media work in a couple ways. One unexpected way was actually just like kind of growing my own business presence. That's been really, really big because my practice is fully virtual, so I don't have a physical location. So that was huge. But then the other piece of it has been just being able to throttle like my time and energy commitment for brand work according to my private practice needs and just like what's going on in my life. Like I've moved 3 times in the past 6 months, including across the country. And like my practice has just like exploded in the last 6 months. And the brand work has been so, so flexible. So in the times where I'm like, want a bit more income or, want to kind of mix it up, then I lean more into it. And when I need to focus more on other things, then I'm able to pull back. And so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now with it all.
I love that, Kaytee. And I just always think back when you're like, "Amy, I didn't even know if I was going to like brand partnerships, but I just wanted the money."
No, that's very real. I literally did say that. And I have to admit that I really, really enjoy the work. Like I didn't like social media. Like I still am not crazy about social media. Like that's really not what I do. So this idea of like doing other things outside of brand partnerships, I was like, I have no idea if I'm going to like it. And there's so many things that I love doing. And it's great because like now I'm able to lean into that more.
I love it. And the opportunities are literally like limitless to what you create. Like, we're going to talk more about that, but like you can help restaurants make their menus healthier. You can make handouts for them. You can do a lot of stuff behind the scenes as well as in front of the scenes. So, all right, I'm going to quickly just do a quick recap of last night and then we'll get into questions because this is all completely brand new. And I just want to make sure that I've gotten a lot of questions about, what exactly is the Master of the Media method and what's the bundling method? And literally, this is what we've been teaching all along. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a really comprehensive part of the program where we give you templates. We give you like all of the intel on what to say, what to price. So the Master of the Media way to earning $50,000 from brand partnerships in 6 months is pricing. So selling your credibility, you guys are not influencers. You actually can earn a lot more than influencers. Bundling together multiple deliverables. So you're not doing like 50 contracts for a little piece, like a couple thousand or $1,000, you are doing two or three, probably at most bundles. And then closing the conversation, driving those conversations so they actually get closed and signed. And this way. So step one of this process is pricing. And I want to highlight like your expertise is worth so much, a minimum of $1,000 when you're working with a brand. And I know this makes, it sounds crazy, but it's real. Like nothing should be under $1,000 because you are the authority. And the top three easiest brand partnerships to land, and there's literally like we give you a list of 100 plus in Master the Media, but these pay really amazingly because brands are using your expertise to sell their products and share about their brands. So a social media post that could be posted on a brand's social media could be $1,000 to $7,500. A blog post that you write for a brand's website could be up to $5,000. And if you film a 20, 30-second testimonial that the brand uses on their social media or website, that could be anywhere from $1,000 to $14,000. So we're not just talking about doing one of those things as a one-off, like one blog post, one social media post. When we're talking about bundling, we're literally bundling together deliverables, usually to earn at least $10,000. And so there's the exhausting way. You could, like some influencers who, their followings are big but not huge. They're earning $200 for a one-off Instagram post. To make $50,000, you would have to do 250 contracts of 200 one-off posts. That is not realistically doable within 6 months. It's not doable within a year. It's not doable probably within 2 years. It would take you years. The Master the Media way is 2 to 3 bundles, like Kaytee was talking about. She had 2 or 3 bundles. I think, it could even be 3 or 4 or 5 bundles, but that's the number of brands you're working with for $50,000. It's very doable. Our students are getting these like literally every day. And so here's an example of a beginner bundle. A social media story, and this could be for a brand's feed. It doesn't even have to be for yours. I'm going to actually start here. So you could write a blog post for the brand's website. That might take you just 3 hours. That's $3,000. Create a social media post to share the blog post. And that pays $1,500. Create a social media story to share the social media post. That could take you 10 minutes, $500. And so let's look at this bundle. 2 blog posts, 2 Instagram reels, 2 Instagram stories. All of a sudden, we have $10,000 from a bundle. Now, an advanced bundle might be, I'm going to start from the bottom here, doing a national TV segment. That might take you 5 or 6 hours, and the brand would land all of this for you. That would be $7,000. Appearing on local TV, that would just take you 4 to 5 hours, landing $3,500, and so on. I'm not going to read through all of this because, I want to get to questions, but that bundle with all of those deliverables, which really isn't very many things, you're earning $30,000. And then you get to the part of the process where you're closing. And why do brands say yes and give you $30,000 to these bigger packages? It's because your credibility gets them more sales for their product. So $5,000 for you is $50,000 in product sales for them. $10,000 for you is probably $100,000 in product sales for them. So they make $45K when they give you $5K. You get paid $5K, it's a win-win. And so there's 3 steps to closing your brand partnerships for landing them in $50,000 in 6 months. And that's asking the brand's goals. You can't go in blindly not knowing what they need. Choosing those deliverables that you want to offer for the bundle, and then sharing those strategic bundle ideas. And so I know we have some friends with Dr. Kara here, and she actually told me she's earned $35,000 now in brand partnerships and Master the Media. And that is because she uses the bundling method. And we make it super easy for her. We give her contacts, we give her templates, we give her bundling templates as well. But we're also every single week sharing opportunities in the Master the Media group where brands come to us and they say, in this case, they said, hey, we want an allergist. We have a partnership ready for the taking. And so we connected her with Canopy. Canopy hired her. It's literally that simple. So before we open up for questions, I just want to remind everyone, We have some really awesome bonuses going on right now. So when you enroll in Master the Media now, you get a free one-on-one 50K strategy call where we work with you. You work with one of our coaches to come up with your individualized bundling plan. So we're going to create bundling templates with you during that call that you can go and then use to make 50K in brand partnerships. And we also have a pay in full bonus where you get an extra month in Master the Media. So instead of 6 months, you get 7 months. So I'm going to jump to questions. There's a few questions in the chat, and then we can open it up. So, Melinda, did you want to ask your questions?
I'm sorry, my audio was off. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my camera on.
Oh, no
Um,
worries.
I, I actually am totally new to this. I'm sorry I signed on late. I was private messaging Dr. Malhotra because I'm a diplomat of the ACLM, but am struggling to find my place as far as with lifestyle medicine because I'm primarily work emergency medicine now. And I guess my curiosity would be, as I'm a physician assistant, background nursing and PA, where would I even start with something like this? How would I be valuable? And I'm sorry I can't get my camera to work. Hold on. There it
Oh,
is.
there we
Hi.
are.
Sorry.
I'm actually going to let Simran take a stab at that because I think she's the best person to answer that.
Okay.
So, Melinda, I would say the world is your oyster, or there are so many like opportunities. I guess I would, and I'm saying that because not, I mean, I'm coming from palliative care. So if you feel like, you know, I'm going from emergency medicine to lifestyle medicine, like where do I fit in? Imagine being like palliative care to lifestyle medicine. You know what I mean? It's like the polar opposite.
The intermediate.
But having said that, you know, when we were at the ACLM conference last year, I had met pathologists, I had met radiation oncologists. Like the beautiful thing about lifestyle medicine is that it welcomes all of us, and there is space for all of us. And you bring such a unique background with emergency medicine, right? And so I guess my question to you would be is, you know, having heard what Amy just said, what are you most interested in?
Well, right now I'm trying to transition out of emergency medicine. I've got my yoga certification and I'm trying to, I guess, transition myself into uh, because I'm close to retirement, something that is less abusive to my mind and body than emergency medicine. And I've always had a love for lifestyle medicine, but I just haven't had the business brain to put it together. And that's not to belittle myself, but I've just always been do the work, emergency medicine just it takes it out of you, I should say, after years.
I hear you. And sometimes it's not necessarily having a like a business hat when you're looking at this. It's more of putting on your creative hat and thinking about other things that you enjoy doing, right? Like, do you enjoy writing? Do you enjoy advising or consulting? Do you enjoy creating videos? Like, these are all different ways that you could partner with brands. I mean, how long have you been working? I imagine you have experience.
40 years.
Yeah, I mean, just for you to be able to say, I have 40 years of experience working with, you know, emergencies and really, really sick people in emergency medicine, and I have a yoga certification and a lifestyle medicine certification. I mean, you bring an abundance of credibility and trust. And so, you know, whether you go towards working with like lifestyle brands, like say your favorite yoga mat company, right? Or working with food brands if that's the way you want to go, or, you know, a combination of all of them. I think the thing to think about is what is it that I enjoy doing? Because there's a lot of different ways to work with these companies, but the first thing you got to figure out is like, what do I enjoy doing?
Great, because I do wilderness medicine too, and that's
Oh,
something
that's
that I
cool.
love.
So
You
cool.
should
Yay.
look up Melissa Sunderman. So she calls herself the Doctor Outdoors, and she's all about lifestyle medicine and the benefits of being out in nature and outdoors. You'll probably really connect with her.
And what's her name again?
Melissa Sunderman.
Cinderman. I will look
Yeah.
her up. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't mean to take up so
No, no,
much.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
But I think the answer to your question is like, what I usually tell people is like get a piece of paper and make two columns and think about if you could have anything, right? Think about your favorite brand and you could come up with a list of all the things you would love to do with them. Write that on one side. And on the other side, write down things that maybe you don't really care for. Like maybe you don't, want to create, videos for your own social media, but you would love to create video content to give to a brand for their social media. Like you love writing, so you could do blog features or you could do media quotes or just think about like different things like that you actually enjoy doing. And I think that'll give you an idea of like where to start.
And the
But
school.
I just want to throw in there that you don't have to know any of that before you start. So a lot of people come into Master the Media and they say, I'm passionate about yoga, I'm passionate about, meditative activities. And then we actually have you try out, writing, we have you try out video. You can say I love it or hate it. But a lot of people are surprised. Like Kaytee, for instance, was really surprised how much she loved TV. And she ended up doing a monthly TV segment for a really long time. I also thought I would hate TV when I first did it, and I loved it. So just food for thought. And then we help you, like that strategy call that I mentioned is when you actually talk with one of our coaches for a full hour to strategize what are you going to pitch brands. And just for everyone here, I want to mention like it doesn't have to be directly related to your niche or your expertise. And that sounds a little crazy, but the thing is that brands want an expert backing their products. And so I'm going to use the example of Bridget. She's a pharmacist, a lifestyle medicine pharmacist who just enrolled in Master of the Media. And when I talked to her, she was like, my passion is like meditative devices. And so that it's like tangentially related, but it's not like medicine, right? It's not directly related to pharmacy, but brands are going to want to work with her because she has the credentials and the experience and the passion, but really the credentials.
And that also reminds me of what Amy just said is there literally like there is a whole module on niching. And so you would actually be entering this at a really beautiful time because you're just figuring out, how you're blending this and what you want to talk about and all of that. So like we have a whole niching instructor and a whole community that will help you figure that out.
Yay. And this is the school that I will learn all this, right?
Yeah, yeah. So when you enroll, literally, we have coaching calls every Tuesday and Thursday. So next week, like you would meet with our coaches, and on Thursday is the foundation call where we talk about like niching and other kind of like foundational aspects. But you would also jump straight into the modules, and like Simran said, there's a worksheet that you submit to our instructor, Jonathan. He marketed 75 plus best-selling books. He knows what he's doing. So like we have amazing instructors who are there and also the community, like Simran mentioned.
Thank you. I'm super stoked now. Thank you guys.
Of
I'll be
course.
quiet now.
No, no, please. Like I love people just like jumping in with questions. I know Christina had to go in a little bit. Do you have any questions you wanted to ask before you have to run?
Me, Christina?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't have to go. I'm still on.
Okay.
I did have a question, which is that I'll throw out there. I guess it's kind of. I am still in the car though, so that's why I'm not on video.
No worries.
My family went into a restaurant, so yeah. So my question is, as I mentioned, I do health coaching, and I'm working with Carawada's practice for that health coaching, and I'm from like public health background. Health educator. I was a university health educator and personal trainer and group fitness instructor. And I'm also one of like the complex chronic health patients uh, that she treats. Sort
I
of
have
that
two.
nature.
I
Oh,
sent
good.
them the invitation as well.
Hi. Well, nice to meet you. Yeah. So I guess my question is, because it seems like there's a lot of physicians and dietitians and higher level like professional. I don't want to like kind of sell myself short, but just so many people with like very high credentials in this program, and I was wondering if there's a space for me like in it
Yeah.
with what I do. I'm really interested in the writing aspect of it, blogging and getting my foot in the door that way. But I
Yeah.
also don't want to be like in a sandbox with
I
the
I
wrong
love
crowd.
I love that you asked that because we get this question a lot.
Uh-huh.
And it might, a lot of people think there's not enough space, but the reality is there's a couple different things. One is there's more brands that need healthcare professionals than there are healthcare professionals who know how to work with brands. And that might make it, you might be like, really? But we have a list of 3,600 brands in Master the Media. There's probably like a million brands out there that we'll one day have a list for. And a lot of these brands don't necessarily know what they need. And that's where our training comes into, because we teach you how to go to a brand and kind of like one of our students, for instance, she just got a partnership with an eco-conscious temporary tattoo company. Like
Cool.
so niche that like probably no one's ever pitched them what she pitched them, which is why they said yes, because she used what we taught her. Like we were literally like, here's 100 ideas, here's more ideas, here's more ideas. And so my point is, yes, there's a lot of practitioners out there, but there's only one you who has, your expertise, and you have a lot of it, your personal experience, and you have some really interesting personal experience, and that makes us all unique too, right? Kaytee, do you want to jump in? Because I feel like this kind of like, Katie's a gut health dietitian. We could argue there's hundreds of gut health dietitians, but Katie's special because we're all special. But like, Katie's been anyway, I'll let you jump in.
Yeah, so just kind of thinking about like what sets you apart, basically, is that kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah. This was, I mean, I feel like part of it actually ties back into what you were saying earlier about like you can kind of work with brands and show up in ways that are outside of your like niche and like leaning into things that make you uniquely you. So for example, my whole private practice is based on the fact like is on GI, but like I eat a plant-based diet. I exercise regularly. So like I've had partnerships around those other things, and that might resonate more with certain companies because of all those things that like make me unique compared to other GI dietitians, but also just like general approaches, right? Like what makes your approach unique, whether it's your communication style or your values or, the conditions you work with, or, maybe you like crush a motivational interviewing and like you can actually like bring that into your media interviews. Like there's so many different things that really tie it in. And, even like thinking about all the different students we have in the group right now, like we have, I mean, the whole program was originally built for dietitians. Obviously, it's like expanded way beyond that, but like there's so many diet into media trade and there's so much work to go around. So it's not like, it's not like you have to, it's all about credentials. In fact, the first few partnerships that I landed were actually ones that came through the Facebook group that Amy had shared of like, oh, these brands are interested in working with someone. And there were 2 or 3 that I secured when I had like they were my very first brand partnerships. And they picked me over other people who had way more experience with partnerships. Like I didn't even think I had a shot, but for whatever reason, like the way I showed up and my values and my opinions and like what I brought to the table just resonated with them differently. So I really don't think it really comes down to like the amount of credentials you have or necessarily even your specialty to some degree. It's like what makes you unique.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And Christina, like you like to write, so that's something that makes you unique. And we're always, because brands come to us and they often will say like, a lot of them we post in the Facebook group, but like some are really fast turnarounds. Like last week we got like, do we have a specific type of medical professional who is a woman and does this and this and this? And so we always are nurturing whatever your special skill sets are. Like Simran is an amazing content creator. She posts things that I would never think to like make into videos. And I'm always like, oh my gosh, like if someone comes to us saying, who is one of your best content creators? It's Simran. That has nothing to do with palliative care at all or lifestyle
Sure.
medicine, you know?
One more question I do have, if you don't mind. The other thing, and it kind of goes back to what somebody asked at the very beginning of the call with the brand partnership. Remind me of the names, but the versus the master, the media, the
Yeah.
2 levels. Like I probably like wouldn't have, because I just started working like literally a few months ago after years of not working. Like I probably wouldn't have the capacity to do the full master of the media if I just did the brand partnership initially until I can like maybe get a brand partnership to make the money to then upgrade to master the media. Like I know you had mentioned on a presentation like a month ago, like you could essentially upgrade. But what's the
Yeah.
timeline to
Yeah.
do that or whatever?
I'm going to share my screen and walk you guys really quickly through Brand Partnership School and Master the Media, and then Dr. Martin will get to your question. Um,
Perfect.
this is Brand Partnership School. So it's meant to help you secure your first or your next brand partnership at any dollar amount. It's awesome, obviously. It's worked. We have students landing, $5,000 partnerships from it. It's all on demand. So there's no coaching component, there's no hand-delivered opportunities or anything like that. Let me fast forward to the price. So if the price is $197 a month for 6 months, or paying full is $1097. And for upgrading, we do have an upgrade option. Usually, like if you enroll in brand partnership school and want to upgrade within like the first few weeks, we'll apply what you paid to master the media. Now, master the media is our robust offering, like literally has everything you could ever need to land a lot of money in brand partnerships. And so I don't have time, like it would take me a whole hour to walk you through everything that's here. But like in a nutshell, um, let me just go to the highlight section. So you get brand partnership school as like the first step. Then we have our bundling blueprint where we have literally copy and paste templates that you can send to brands to earn those like 10, 20, $30,000 partnerships. Then we give you, the rates for what to charge for 100 plus brand deliverables. You get feedback on pretty much anything you want from our coaches. We have 6 coaches in our Facebook community who are there every day answering questions and reviewing proposals. Katie's one of them. I'm one of them. We have a list of 3,600 brand contacts that you can utilize to pitch brands, and then live coaching, hand-delivered brand partnership opportunities. You have a contract template, master the media certification. I'm going to just fast forward to the price. So the price is $727 a month for 12 months, or if you pay in full, it's $7,997. And I know we all have different financial situations. So I know like that might be doable for some people and not for other people. So that is why we have brand partnership school as an easier starting point for people who can't make that investment.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, and Danny's here. Danny's one of our coaches too. Danny, do you want to say something quickly since you're here? Maybe like a quick recap of your Master the Media experience.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. So hi, everyone. I'm Danny. I am a new coach or co-coach, but I've been a part of the program for quite a while. And honestly, like I say for myself, like this has literally changed the trajectory of my dietitian career. It's one of those things that I'd been on TV like with other types of things, but to really just like dive and have like the framework behind everything has been like such like just a game changer in what I do specifically. And man, I can't now see my life without brand partnership or even media in it. And I've gotten so many awesome opportunities that I'm just so thankful for like Amy creating this program, because now I've been on like national TV and been quoted in like Oprah Daily and Martha Stewart, that those things that you read, or for me was real simple as a kid. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm quoted in it, when as a kid I was like, looking at that magazine and loved like feeling the pages and everything. So
I love that you read real
that
simple
full
as a
circle
kid.
moment. Hmm?
I love that you read real simple as a kid.
Well, yeah, I mean, younger than I am now. I call myself still a kid. So yeah, that's kind of my experience. So I would say if you're on the fence about it, like honestly, I love this program and I'm so glad to be a part of it on this realm too. But honestly, like I was still gonna stay in the program regardless, just because I really do enjoy this community.
We're so thrilled to have you. And yeah, Danny, like literally before we hired her as a coach, she had signed on for like a whole nother 12 months with us. We make it really easy for our current students to stay at a lower price if they want to. But I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Martin, who had the next question.
Hi there. I'm so sorry. I clicked the unmute button and it literally kicked me out. So I appreciate the conversation, and I'm a doctor of public health, but I'm also a certified functional medicine practitioner, and I'm actually just finishing my CNS. So I take my licensure exam in 3 weeks, which I can't wait for that to be over. But my question really revolves around time, because I do, and I also work at the CDC right now, and I'm also a professor. So I have a lot going on and I'm in transition. So I'm just wondering about the time commitment that it takes for either of the programs, and the breakdown that you just gave, Amy, really answered a lot of my other questions. So yeah.
First of all, congratulations on all of that. And then I also am going to say that pretty much everyone here is doing a lot. And That's our typical Master of the Media student. Um, I can't think of a single one of our students who's like, I do this one thing and I have the easiest schedule and I'm not busy. So I just want you to know that you're not alone and you're probably like, I guess we attract people who want to do a whole bunch of things. Like I knew this about myself early on. Like I get bored if I do the same thing like 2 days in a row. And so I created a career where I will never do the same thing 2 days in a row.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's completely doable. And like Kaytee mentioned, like you can ebb and flow where you're like, okay, this week I have more time, so I'm gonna kick in a little bit more. And like, like I go on, I think I have like three vacations scheduled this year, that are long vacations. So like we're all, my point is like balancing quality of life, it's all there, but like a realistic time frame would be once you get the knowledge base of brand partnerships, like implementation for communicating with brands is like 2 or 3 hours a week. So like especially with our templates, because we make it really easy to like copy and paste them. The program itself, there's 2 live coaching calls a week. Then we have an hour-long non-nutrition coaching call a month that is additional support for anyone who's not a nutrition professional. So and then we have our course materials that, if you want to power through them and go faster, you could spend more time. So I would say like if you have 5 hours a week, you would make good progress.
Okay. That's really helpful because I think I could do an hour a day right now. Well, after the 17th.
Yeah.
I finally finished 1,000 hours and getting this test behind me. You guys are and RDs and LDs on this call. So I know you understand how
I
this
don't have
test is.
days.
Um, so yeah, and so if I get started now, I mean, I know that I will basically need like 2 to 3 weeks of downtime because that is like my sole focus in life right now.
So if anyone here, like this is something we always offer. If you want to enroll now, take advantage of the bonuses we're offering now and say, Amy, I want to start in 2 weeks. I want to start in 2 months. That's like we'll give you immediate access to everything educational, and then we'll start your coaching, whenever you want to start.
That would be so helpful. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes, well, I will go ahead and check out now because I feel like you are like a God sent prayer to me because this is literally where I wanted to take the next step for my business. So thank you. I'm so excited.
We're excited to work with you and good luck on your exam.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I feel like that was a really good conversation question that I want to dive a little bit deeper into because I'm sure everyone here is like, I'm juggling, Christina has 3 kids, like we're all juggling a lot. So Simran, Kaytee, Danny, any of you guys, if you want to like address that of how we're all super women basically, but like it's manageable.
I mean, I think to what Jessel was saying, like when I started Master of the Media, I was working in palliative care for the healthcare system, for my healthcare system, but also have 2 kids and a dog and a cat, and my husband's a critical care physician and we have no family around. So like the point is, like Amy said, we all wear, and I was running my business. So like Amy said, we're all wearing lots of hats. So you'll fit right into this community of superhumans. But also, I think the way Amy has strategically laid out the program in that first 6 months, I just kind of followed exactly what she said, like 3 to 4 hours, including the coaching calls per week. I finished the whole program when it was supposed to be finished, but also because of all the kind of extra support in the community and the opportunities that Amy had offered, I landed multiple media mentions, including Time Magazine, which was pretty cool. I had a few brand partnerships, and all of that kind of gave me momentum to just continue going forward after my schedule freed up once I left my job, and then kind of all of that. So I think I think it was Kaytee that said the beautiful thing about this work is once you have the skill set, which Amy does a really good job of teaching and nurturing, you can kind of scale up and down and however you want based on the season of life you're in. So it's really a skill set that is for life after you've learned it.
I love that. And I'll say even for me, like a new mom. My daughter's 10 months. She's almost 11 months. It's crazy. And this is like my season of life. I guess I don't know if I'm like scaling back per se, but like maybe I'm not. But some days I'm like, well, if 6 months from now I want more money, I'll just like pitch a few brands. Like it's all very like if I want to take that extra vacation, but like it's all very like if I don't want to, I'll be fine too. And and that's the beauty of it. Katie, Danny, I don't know if you have anything to add.
All right, well, we'll say something. I just gonna mimic it as well. Is that even right now I'm getting my second bachelor's and master's degrees because why not? Because we're all that type A type of personality. So that is kind of that moment, just kind of like they're saying. I know I wasn't here for the first part of the conversation, but like yeah, you can kind of scale back if you need to focus on something else, and then just like amp it up when you feel ready for that moment. So, but I think still just knowing the skills of what to do, and then if brands do reach out to you or that you already kind of know what to do in that moment and not have to at that be like kind of scrambling to figure it all out if that's kind of the direction that you want to go anyways. So I still think like learning the basics of that, regardless of if you're, really diving super deep into it or taking a little bit of a break off of it. So that's my 2 cents.
And Danny has a really interesting niche. She's a dietitian and a pet nutritionist. So, just FYI.
Yeah. And I mean, I started my own private practice in January and then I do the pet nutrition on the side. So, I mean, there's a lot. And then, I have my own dog that I home cook for because why not? That's super fun. And all the things that, so it's just, I think, just kind of mimicking there. I don't really think anyone full-time does the brand partnerships that I know of, at least in Master the Media. We're all doing like multiple things all at once. And it's just like what you put your priorities to, right? I like make it a point to try to get to the calls because I learned so much from all of that, even as a coach now. Like I'm still just learning and learning at this point. So that's the priorities that you put in that week and that day.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like second all of this. I think the thing that I would add is you really build momentum. So, like Danny mentioned, like you're always learning, right? Like in whatever career you're in, right? You always learn. So there is that component, but there really is something to like, you know, early on, like you're sort of learning the whole landscape. And you're starting to build relationships. Like being in this business is all about relationships. So even if you don't have a lot of time right now, or at any given point, like you're always going to have those relationships, and if you keep nurturing them, you can get a partnership after being a year in talks. And a year means maybe you had an email there, a phone call there, and then suddenly you get a $30,000 partnership because now you have more time to follow up on that relationship and to actually have more robust conversations. So it also is kind of like the long game, in the sense that the work that you put in early on will ultimately pay off later too. And it becomes easier in the sense that like once you've been showing up in these places and once you've worked with PR agencies, now they have a new brand. Like I just had a PR company that I worked with for a year and a half with a beverage company. The PR company left the beverage company, and so our relationship ended. And then like randomly the other day they were like, hey, we're working with this other company, like can we hire you to do like a TV segment? And I was like, yeah, like of course, like just completely random. So like it does get less time intensive later on as well.
It does. And I want to add, like, it all overlaps. And so a lot of you guys have like your own private practices or micro practices. And the thing that a lot of our students have been doing, and it's just literally because one student did it and everyone else on a coaching call was like, that's a great idea, was getting like anything that you're hosting, like a practice opening or a wellness fair or a booth at a wellness fair, getting that sponsored by brands. So like basically getting paid for the work that you're already doing. And it all like overlaps. So I just want to add that too. We have a question about how do you figure out the brands you want to work with? Because I know a lot of like for dietitians, we have like food, we have supplements. It's really kind of easy. But for everyone else, it might not seem easy, but I just want to say it actually is. The sky is literally the limit for anyone here. Like I think Simran said earlier, if you have something that you enjoy personally, if you're a yoga person, a Pilates person, like that's a go-to. If you're like, I like this migra stick that I use whenever I get a migraine, because that's what makes me unique, like that would work. If you have my cats. So I have two Bengals. Danny knows this really well. They have a very good diet as well. They don't get home cooked food, but they do get colostrum supplements every day and like a whole bunch of other probiotics like Visbiome. So I'm like, I could pitch like Visbiome Vet. Like there's literally, it's endless. And there's healthcare tech companies. I'm going on a vacation to a European resort. It's basically like a $7,000 vacation that I'm getting for free because I'm sending out 2 newsletters for them, like for this resort. And so that's called in-kind sponsorships. Like there's a million different ways to work with brands. And you don't have to know, you shouldn't know really any of that coming in. Like that's what we help you with every day in Master the Media. Are there any other questions? I could keep on talking about them.
There was one more question in the chat, Amy.
Oh, yes, thank you. How often do the community members work together? I will need to hire health coaches. That's something that there's a lot of collaboration. And I think, honestly, I don't even always know the full extent of it. So, and like from actually working together to collaborations, like doing Instagram lives, doing events, I'm going to let you guys dive in because you probably have more personal experience with this.
I mean, I haven't personally like worked with anyone in the community, but I've been inspired by a lot of people in the community. Like Amy was talking about the branded workshops I just secured 2 workshops later this year to do in the cooking kitchen of an event of a brand's event space, and it's going to be fully sponsored. Never thought of doing that in my life until I saw someone in Master the Media doing it, and then we were at Fancy and ACLM last year, and then I hung out with all these amazing humans, and so you're in this amazing peer group and like-minded community, and so there's just a lot of growth potential, a lot of inspiration, a lot of learning from each other, and I'm sure people have also like actually worked together too.
I like forgot when this question came up, but I say like for me personally, because we're kind of like, I'm just going to say we're attracting like the best thinkers in the medical space, in the healthcare space. So I hired Kaytee to be my husband's dietitian, and I hired Dr. Kara to be my doctor, and I'm probably going to hire Danny to be my cat's nutritionist. So like we're all like, I'm like things that I didn't even know were like options for care. Like we're all like, I think, bettering ourselves in so many different ways from this community.
You're cracking me up. Um, uh, Janny, that totally made me lose my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, also just like from a more personal level as well, like I've made so many good friends, like to be fully transparent, like I didn't really have dietitian friends before I joined Master the Media. Like, I don't know, I just never, there's certain types of dietitians and I just never really vibed with them.
Abundance mindset group.
Yeah, yes, no, you hit the nail on the head. Yes, so because dietitians are so underpaid, like in a clinical traditional setting, like I think there is so much of that, like mine, like, it's yeah. And it's just not like that in the community. But yeah, I have like several friends that I have made like dear friends. Like I just moved back to LA, and like someone that I'm good friends with that I met through Master of the Media, like she came out to visit me when yeah, like when I was living in Virginia, we'd never met before in person. We had just like gotten along great. We were like FaceTiming, and she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be on the East Coast." I was like, "Come stay with me for a week." And now I'm back in LA, and we like hang out all the time. Like it's a really great it's just such a great community. And I think when you like Amy, I think that credit really goes to you, because the tone is really kind of set around like we are all here to be supportive. We are all here to lift each other up. And I've never once seen like the opposite, like any instance of that within the community.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that's like really near and dear to my heart because like I will like not literally give you my left arm, but like I probably will try. Like I'm always like, oh, like can I give this partnership to one of my students? Like and I think we're all like trying to help each other like so much.
And even like at the events, like when we go to Fancy or Expo West, like some of us will like room together, we'll go get dinner together, we'll like go to meetings together. Like it's super supportive. It feels like like, my work is completely virtual. I see all of my patients through telehealth, like everything, like I'm in this office day in and day out. And it's like, it feels like there is much more of a community for in-person events as well.
Yeah, and what Kaytee and Simran are talking about is we actually have two official annual events in person that you guys are always invited to. One is in November, one is in October at Fancy, which is the Food and Nutrition Conference and Expo. And like we have people who just come to our event. This year it's in San Antonio. We throw a big party with like brands that you can meet and mingle with. And then we also have an event in conjunction with ACLM in November. So this year, that's in Orlando. And same thing, like, we make it a good time. Oh, and Dr. Martin just joined. Amazing. So happy to have you here. Okay, any last questions or thoughts? And like literally anyone can jump in.
I was just gonna mimic that. I didn't have many dietitian friends either before this, and now I'm like, I feel like I have like more dietitian friends than I would have, than ever been able to get in maybe a different type of community, because we all have that like-mindedness aspect of it. And then I know even for me, like I meet with some of the Master of the Media students on the side, and we like hold each other accountable for various goals of like how many pitches are you going to try to reach. And we're actually having like a writing party coming up here in like 10 days that we're going to like just sit down and like pitch, like just write down on, we're all going to be on Zoom and just like, trying to do that together. So yeah, I really love the community in here for sure. I will mimic
Well, I didn't
that.
even know you guys were doing that. I love
Yeah,
it.
see, I was like, I don't think you know the extent of all the, like, I've talked with a lot of other Master of the Media students on the personal side too, of just like being friends. So yeah, it's how much you put into it, right?
Well, I love that so much. And I mean, that goes for doctors and other healthcare professionals too. Like we're all just there to support each other.
I was gonna say I didn't have any dietitian friends before I came, but now I have so many. But I would also say that dietitians are, I think, traditionally have been more in the media than physicians. And so I think like you guys are a huge inspiration for all of the non-dietitians in the community because you show us what's possible. So I think it's just, I think I said that yesterday, like it's just a great interdisciplinary group, especially over this past year. It's just exploded into so many different types of people from different backgrounds. And it's just like,
We
it's
have
so fun.
we officially have like I think pretty much every specialty. We just got a pharmacist and a dermatologist. And so I'm so excited to have like dermatologist approved products that you get paid for endorsements. And like, anyway, there's always the sky's the limit. And anyway, I just want to say like, whatever your specialty is, I can think of 5 million ways to help you get paid by brands. And so can Simran and Kaytee and Danny and our other coaches. And we're really, really excited to support you. So I'm going to share the screen for this last slide again. We are offering this bonus, this one-on-one strategy call, which I highly, highly recommend that you sign up in time to get. This bonus is going to expire on May 27th, which is in a few days. But sign up now, you can book it literally for Monday. And then if you pay in full, you also get an extra month, so 7 months, not 6 months. And the link is in the chat. So if you have any more questions after you watch this, if you're watching the replay, just shoot me an email and I'm happy to answer them. So, and I'm really, really excited to work with everyone who's joining Master the Media. And have a great night, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed that Q&A and learning about Master the Media and our bundling blueprint method. So if you do want to join us, go to masterthemedia.co/course. Again, when you enroll by end of day tomorrow, you get that one-on-one 50K coaching session, which is worth $1,500. And if you pay in full, you get an extra month. So 7 months, not 6 months in Master the Media. I'm so excited to work with you and help you earn $50,000 in brand partnerships.